Hello, I'm Frances from Homestead, and I want to tell you all about my chickens. The chickens have been a big adventure too. This one is Americana. I chose them because they lay blue eggs. I ordered them from Murray McMurray Hatchery back in March, but they were backlogged and they didn't arrive until May 22nd. After they arrived, I bought 10 amberlings at a farm supply store. These are the white ones. They lay brown eggs. But before we could have chickens, we needed to set up a chicken coop and a brooder. The property had a chicken coop in disrepair. I think I showed that to you in episode 2. And we also found a brooder that we thought we could fix up, clean up, and make use of. The brooder box is ready to go. We've cleaned it up. We dusted it with some diatomaceous earth so that way we wouldn't have to worry about how old or infested the box is. We're supposed to be getting chicks in the next few days. So I believe we're ready to go. We've got the red light, have feeders and waterers that just need to be filled. We've put in the pine shavings, got the feeders up on blocks a little bit to keep them out of the shavings. We did do some hinges on the back of this upper lid. It was just screwed down, and we took the screws off so we could clean it up a little better. But we added hinges so that we could just lift it. And that way we can adjust the light as we need to, adding more pine shavings if we need to. So that was an addition that we made. Otherwise, I think it's going to work out pretty well. I'm very excited for the baby chicks to come, and I'll definitely film that when they arrive. Yeah, baby chickies. On them. The chicks have arrived. Look at those. Are they beautiful? These are Americanas, and Diana's getting introduced to them. Look at those babies. Oh, they're so sweet. Oh, they're pecking at her nose. They're ready to eat, so we're going to get them started. We've already got the brooder set up. They've got food and water in here, and we're going to take them out and dip their beaks. Dip the beak in the water. There you go. Dip the beak in the water. There you go. Hungry babies, huh, baby? There we go. Look at there. Look at there. So many. They all have survived. Every one of them is alive. No casualties. Last one. Here we go. Put your beak in the water. There we go. Okay. There it is. He's a pretty baby. He's a pretty baby. Yeah. Done. Introduce all the babies. Diana, here we go. Last baby chick. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, yes, it's so sweet. Yes. Yes, it's so sweet. Oh, yes, it's so sweet. Yes, it's so sweet. Okay. The baby chicks are 10 days old now. They have got their feathers. They're flapping their wings and flying. Here you go. Give a kiss. Give a kiss. Yes, I know. Just a sweet kiss. She loves to give him kisses. Yeah, the sweet baby. Sweet baby. Yes. They've been jumping up on the edge and the tops of their feeders. I can see the colors of their feathers. They're so beautiful. They're used to me being close to them, so they're not so upset about that. They come close really quick as soon as I get my hand out of the brooder. I can't wait to see the eggs that they produce. I'm ready to put them out in the chicken coop. They are looking really good, and we still have 25, and they are really looking big. And they really are filling up the brooder. They have gotten a lot more feathers. Here you go. Here you go. Give a kiss. Give a kiss. Diana loves to give them kisses. And they can fly up onto the top edge of the brooder when it's open. Yes, a nice baby. Nice baby. Give a kiss. Yes, nice baby. She loves to give them kisses, and she always watches over them, keeps them safe. So that's our chicks. And they're ready to go out to the coop. And we'll be moving them out today. I'm very excited. I'm going to show you the coop and what we've been doing out there to prepare it. It's not completely done, but it's to a point where we can put them out, and then I'm going to keep doing some finer touches on it to improve it as well, to make it look a little nicer. We are getting ready to redo this chicken coop. It's been in neglect and disrepair for a few years, and so we've started by taking out some fencing. There was some chain link fencing all around this area here, and it was very tall, so that was good, but there was also this section here. We started taking out this added coop portion. It was like a separate second coop. He had some boxes here. It was all enclosed except for a doorway, and there was a window here. So we've taken that out. There was also some more fencing over here, but we're not needing this extra section. We've got 25, and everybody feels overwhelmed with 25 chicks. So we probably will not be getting any more chickens. So this large coop here will be sufficient for that amount of chicks. We're thinking about taking off this roofing here. We really don't need all of this up here. So we'll be taking this off, and we'll be keeping this, but we'll be adding some more metal roofing, like this one section here. We've taken off the wood shed that we took apart, and there's a little bit of metal roofing up there now. So we'll be doing a metal roof on the whole thing and taking down all of this very water damaged boards. Getting all this done as soon as possible because the chicks are almost 3 weeks old, and they're getting a lot of their feathers on, and so we want to get them out of the brooder and get them outside. Okay, so this is the back of the chicken coop, and we're working at putting a 1/4-inch hardware cloth a foot down all the way around the coop. And it's 2 feet wide mesh, so it'll come up 1 foot all around the coop and 1 foot down. So, this is the progress we've been doing on the chicken coop. We've got the fencing up. The lower section here has 1/2 inch metal fabric, which is buried 1 foot down, and then we have 2 foot up above, and then we have 4 feet of chicken wire here, and it borders the back of the garden area that has chain link. We are going to jerry-rig something. As the chickens get older, they're going to be able to fly up to the top of this chain link, and so we're going to be putting more chicken wire up above chain link here. And we're going to be building a gate between the garden fence and the chicken coop. This is the gate that we built for the chicken coop. Again, everything was parts that we found here on the property, as far as the 2x4s and the hinges. We did buy the chicken wire. We do have the roofing done and the fencing done, and that was our goal, to be able to get the chicks out here. The nesting box we can do after the chicks are out here, because they're not going to be needing it for several more weeks. Also on the outside here, I want to show you our nesting box that we built here. We put a hole in the back of the chicken coop and used materials that we found here on the property to put in a nesting box, and I'll show you that from the inside. So this is the nesting boxes that we set up. We used a cabinet that we had taken out of the shop and cut it down, and so it was very easy to put this in. And we also built some roost here in front to help discourage them from roosting in the boxes. Pretty nice, huh, Diana? We got all of the insulation out from the inside that was all damaged and pretty gross. So we got a lot of that out. It's in the bags here still. We'll be hauling that out today. The roofing was a really big job, and it's a bit of a patchwork because we didn't want to have to take down the whole entire roof, so we just had to do some adding to it. There's a lot of debris scattered about. Building debris, things that we pulled out. There was a lot of extra building material because he had a much bigger space, the previous owner, than we needed, and so we've pulled a lot of that off. Definitely looking a lot better. But here on the roof is what I want to try to show you up here. The problem that it had mainly was that there was a slant on the chicken coop. There was a slant here, but then this awning area was flat. And with all the rain that we get, it was puddling water up on top of it. After just one day of rain, we swept so much water off the top. Number one, we didn't want the water puddling and settling on top, which would cause damage, which it did. There was a lot of water damage on the top of this. We also wanted to have it slant down to be able to continue the water catchment throughout the whole entire roof. So this is the water catchment that we've set up on the chicken coop. That's why we built the roof up in the front so that it would have a good drainage into the rain gutters and then into the barrel, so that it would be a constant feed. Otherwise we'd be hauling buckets for the chickens, and this is a much better and efficient way for watering. We drilled a hole and put in a faucet at the bottom of the barrel, and then attached some PVC piping. Thankfully, there was PVC piping on the property. This was even our second attempt, and we've had enough laying around. We only needed to pay for the attachments, like the corner pieces and the end pieces. It was relatively inexpensive. I did buy the faucet and the barrel and the rain gutter. We were able to get a good deal on it. And then this is the waterer that we set up. It's actually really great. It was very difficult. Little watering cups themselves were very difficult to get into the holes, but this is actually our second attempt because the first one leaked pretty bad. And so we had to start over. This time it's doing better. but it was quite the fight to get those watering cups to fit inside the holes without leaking. We also built a little awning piece up here so that way when they're up in the window or on the roost up here, and also that they're not using the PVC pipe for roost. And that way they keep the water clean. They're not making messes in the watering cups. And as you can see, it's doing its job. There's plenty of mess on the awning, but the waterers are clean. The chicks are in the coop. We brought them in last night and they spent their first night here in the chicken coop. And they seem to be getting along just fine. They're all still alive. They're all doing well. We'll get them out in the run maybe later today. Right now we're getting them used to their space. They're still only about 10, 11 weeks old. We for sure have a rooster or two, which is fine. 2 would be okay. Any more than that, we'll have to do some culling. This is a little playground area that my son built. He kind of based it off of some others that he saw online and designed his own. They utilize it quite a bit. They like being up on top the most, of course. The roosters like being up there to crow, but the chickens all use it at different times for different things, and they do seem to enjoy it. The idea is to entertain them so they don't have just an empty chicken run. Unfortunately, we've had almost 3 months of no rain, so we don't have much for free range. So we've just kept them in the yard. They are finally getting to a size that they could free range, so hopefully when it starts raining, we'll have some vegetation and we can get them out to free range. But for now, we keep them inside where it's safe and give them things to do. I like to feed them treats so that they get used to my presence and my touch. I really am grateful for these chickens. They've been lots of fun. And I'm very grateful for you for joining me on this journey. I can't wait to show you the harvest that we've had from the garden. Until we meet again.